wait for you at the station, and you just walk up to her and she will take it from there. And so we did. In the morning, we bundled him up, and we took the train, and Paula went with me. And again, Paula was holding the baby, and I would sit across from her. But the main railroad, the main station train, was not so bad. It was more accommodating also, and people did not ask questions, So when we had to transfer to the local train, their trouble began. She sat there were pews, the hard benches. She sat across from me with the baby, and I vis-a-vis. And next to her sat an SS man in uniform. Was holding the mail, was leafing through the mail, but I could see how he was listening when the militia came and asked her first, where is her permit? And she had a permit, but an old one. It was expired, and it was not for the stretch what we needed, like from Bratislava there, but the opposite direction. Also, she pretended she mixed it up, and she left the good one here. Then he turned to me, and he asked me, where is my permit? And I said, I didn't know I need one. Pretended to be done. She said, where are you heading for? So I told him I didn't know even the official name of this Christian institute. I just said, I'm going to a shelter. I think I remember the name of the head of the shelter. So he just walked away, and I didn't know the result. He didn't say anything. Like 10 minutes later, 2 gendarmes come in with the bayonets, with the thing, and we froze. We just waited when they will take us off. But we arrived there. In all this frightful situation, I lost the ticket from the carriage. And when I saw the nun, she had a stony face, not a smile. I walked over and I told her, and I said, I'm sorry, I lost the ticket from the carriage. She said, wait here, and I'll be right back. She went to the station master, and 1, 2, 3, I had the carriage. And then we started to walk towards the institution that I was heading.
How far was Staratora from Bratislava, and how long did the train ride take you?
Since we had to transfer, I would say like 3 hours, maybe more. And as we walked towards the institution, she tried to tell me that if I have proper papers, they will register me and I can stay with them. But if I don't, then they won't be able to keep me, because she cannot endanger the life of 100 people or so. So you can imagine in what mood we both were. And Paula said, I don't know, I can't help you anymore. And we arrived there and we walked up the steps where Raffaella, the head of this institution, she was a laywoman, as I said, with her secretary, a nun, and they were very friendly. And the nun lifted up the baby from the carriage. She said, come, my little Moses. She said, who knows what plans God has for you that he entrusted you into our hands. And she was very nice. She showed the room where I will be. She said, this room is occupied by 2 girls.
Describe.
One was like 25 years old. The other one was a teenager, still in school. And they were not in the room. They probably told them to give me some privacy. And she left us alone. Actually, later on, Mary Raphael said she didn't know who is who. She thought Paula is the Jewish woman and I am the Christian. But she came in, Raphael, to the room, and she said, I know you must be very, very tired from this ordeal, from running. She said, it is a clean bed, and you rest up, and God will show us a way. So I was a little bit assured for one night I went to sleep.
Describe what the building looked like when you first saw it.
The building was on a very strategic place. It was where the road forked. And the Germans who were in Staratura wanted that building for their own purposes. But of course they could not dislodge these were not Jews, and they were old people. This was the old age home. They called it a home of white heads, gray, literally. And yeah, I joked, when they took him out from the carriage, I said, they told me this is an old age home. I said, he fits in, he doesn't have teeth, he doesn't have hair. And they laughed a little. And so she said to Paula, please try to get her some new papers, maybe a birth certificate or something that we can take to the police to register her. So I slept, and it was like in seventh heaven to sleep in a clean bed and not to worry about noises. And he slept in his carriage. They didn't have a child's
crib.
Yeah, a crib they didn't have. So he was still small. He was only four months old. And so this is how this institution was running. In the morning, they had breakfast, and after breakfast, all the nuns and all the from the old age home and even from the other places they had, I said the children were not in, just adults, but all the nuns who supervised them, this was their devotional thing. In the morning they had a Bible class. That was all. The room, it was a large dining room to accommodate so many people. But I did not eat in the dining room. They brought a tray with the food to my room because of the danger, they will ask questions and so on. And there was one woman in that institution who was a rich woman. The children put her there, and she would go in a fur coat, it stood out. It was a cane with a silver handle, and she complained that a silver spoon got lost. And Mary Raphael told her, I'll give you mine, So she was jealous of the fact that they didn't know why, they served me, a young woman, in my room, and she had to go to the dining room, which was like going from one door to the other, by the way. And I tried to avoid, but sometimes I could not help it. I had to go down to the kitchen to make his formula, cereal, hot cereal. And in the morning after the Bible class,